So that makes it a perfect menopausal thing.
Makes it perfect menopausal. But this is in the small drop doses that she's talking about. Men who are going through midlife crisis, or someone who needs a new profession and they won't let go of their old. I mean, there's lots of different situations you can use it in. And this is and I've used it this way for years. And I usually recommend ever since she taught it. I use 3 drops 3 times a day, and it really is amazing what just that will help you. I had one client, a lady, going through menopause, super duper high energy, high stress, hospital administrator. And she was thin, she was wiry, she worked out at the gym, she had perfect leg muscles. I know, when I'm looking at her, she looked like she ought to be in great health because her body is just like the right perfect size, the right perfect muscles, but her skin is looking a little gray. It looks too good, which is a good sign of low oxygenation, and if everything else is being equal, it's probably stress related. But she was having no hot flashes in the daytime, but her hot flashes were so bad at night that she had bought disposable pajamas.
Oh my God.
And slept with a plastic sheet under her sheet. Otherwise, she had to change her sheets during the night. And this is not an uncommon thing in women having hot flashes this bad. So she was like, her disposable pajamas, she was changing them at least a couple of times a night. So when I started talking with them, her husband was also a professional, but he had flexibility in his schedule. She had to work these amazingly long, like 10, 12 hours a day. So he worked part-time and took care of the 2 daughters who were in junior high. And he did all the going to the dry cleaners, having supper ready on the table, kind of work, and that's how they worked out their life. So, anyway, she's talking, and I'm just like, why are you in this crazy job? Is it the retirement? Enlighten me. I said it much nicer than that. Right? I just asked her to tell me about her job, and I tried to suss out, and she had been afraid she was holding on to it because she was afraid they were going to let her go into cutbacks and hire somebody younger at half the salary. But she hated it. Basically, she hated it, but thought the family needed it. When they were doing fine. They had plenty of money coming in.
Like being trapped. That's like what I was thinking.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just recommended, some multivitamins, better eating habits, yoga instead of running 3 miles on the treadmill, trying to slow her down.
Bit of a blue beret, too.
Yeah, bit of a blue beret. But, the black Phyllis did the trick. After about a month on 3 drops 3 times a day, not only was she not having the really violence, at nighttime, that eased off, those hot flashes eased off tremendously. She one day just went, why am I in this job? What am I doing here? And started looking around for something that maybe didn't pay quite as much as being a hospital administrator. But then when you look at, she was working 10 or 12 hours a day, and she was on salary. She wasn't making all that much, and she had to work 6 days a week. And so she just totally worked for a nonprofit. And we know how much that pays. Not much. Just made her whole life change. She really did shed her skin. It was really kind of amazing to watch. And this is sort of thing, and it works the same with men. I used it with men exactly the same way. They really need to let go and shed their skin and get in there and do something different with their life, because what they're doing at that moment is killing them. It's not good for their health. They can't let go.
Would you say before they make that change, or as they're making that change, would they start taking the...
She didn't even think about making the change until she started taking the black coat, because it facilitates the shedding of the skin. Right? You don't even know that you need to shed your skin until the awareness comes in. I think that's something snake medicine does, is it brings that awareness in.
Guess what I'm ordering Monday.
The thing about black coat, sometimes they get in abusive relationships where they're so tangled in there they can't separate themselves.
Right. Right. And you start thinking this abusive relationship is normal, and you can't see that it's the other side of it.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times I think that raise awarenesses are to change attitudes. I think they're amazing for that. I think they do have effects on the physical level, but I use them more on the spiritual or mental emotional awakening than I do the physical. But that's just how I just think they're amazing for that.
So did you tell her, that hospital person at the beginning, like how long? How did you give her a month or how?
Yeah, I told her, the hormones change quickly, and she was like aware of black cohosh for hot flashes. She came wanting black cohosh. She just didn't get it the way she thought she would. And I explained to her that hormones are on a 3-month cycle, and that I always give any hormonal change activity 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, we reevaluate. Well, by 6 weeks, her eyes were opening. By 8 weeks, she was going, what am I doing? And by 3 months, she was like, I need to find something else. It really was a change. Another good thing you can use black cohosh for is to resolve simple cysts. So, do we all know what a simple cyst is? An ovarian cyst? A simple ovarian cyst is each month the ovary has to shoot out an egg, and there is no duct for the egg to come out. So it has to rupture the membrane and shoot out. And one month one ovary does it, and next month the other ovary does it. So it's never the same ovary every month. So how it shoots out is dependent upon what hormone?
Consistent with progesterone.
But it's dependent on estrogen, how it shoots, and as soon as it shoots, we switch over to progesterone. Okay? Progesterone becomes more dominant because it's shooting out mid-month. So sometimes if estrogen is low or hormones are out of balance between estrogen and progesterone, that membrane doesn't rupture and the egg gets caught inside the membrane. Well, the body goes, okay, well, we got to get rid of this, and it starts bringing fluid in, and because now it has to break it down because it's basically a dead egg at that point. And so, macrophages come in, immune activity comes in, and so the water sac begins to grow, and that's a simple cyst. And it becomes filled with the breakdown and debris of the egg and dead bacteria and pus and all this stuff. And it can grow and it can get really big. So if you flock a lot of phytoestrogen into the system, it signals the body to release, right? And it'll make that sac rupture. So I use that to resolve those simple cysts. And it usually takes about a week. Most of them will resolve on their own in 3 to 6 months. But they can get like this big in the meantime. I've seen them on clients block their bowels off, and they've had to go in and get surgery because they can do that because it breaks down against the rectum. They can press against the bladder. They're just really painful. Anyway, if they get really big and they torque and they twist inside the pelvic cavity, it can rupture the ovary, which is a medical emergency, and because the bleeding, death can result in about 20 minutes from that bleeding if that works. So this is something that needs resolving rather quickly. You don't need to hang around with one for months and months and months, especially if there's any pain associated with it, because if there's the pain associated with it, it's beginning to torque a little bit. So black cohosh is like the best remedy I ever found for that, to help that cyst. It's like it's blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, and like the black cohosh, I think of it as like the pin going into the balloon, and it pushes that little bit, and the fluid starts leaking out, which is very caustic, makes the abdomen swell. And so then you can go in with anti-inflammatories and astringents but most of that fluid actually works its way on through, drops to the uterus and comes on out, usually within a couple of days. So that is the best one I've ever found for that.
Is there a way to tell that though? With how do you diagnose that without them You haven't gone in and gotten pictures or anything else? Is there sort of symptoms that you would look for that
Pain,
and suspect?
excuse me, pain on, especially on movement in the ovary
Yeah.
area, like, could you lift your leg up and it presses against the cyst, depending on which side it's on,
Okay,
which way
yeah.
it is. So, you can do that one, but standing up, because if you lie down, the cyst will drop back into the cavity. It's not like appendicitis, You
Yeah.
can do assess appendicitis by bending the right leg and pulling it back against the chest. And the muscle that wraps around the appendix goes through the groin
when you go to, I saw it one time.
And spin some mucus, it works.
Yeah, for, well, another thing that tends to verify this whole mucolytic thing is I saw that they were a support group for women who were infertile, and they tried Robitussin. So they said, oh yeah, that's a widespread, it's going to be
Yeah, that's
Robitussin.
just an old home remedy, a Sudafed. Before they took it off the market, I would have said ephedra, but we can't get ephedra really anymore, so I just started using Sudafed. It's just an old home remedy for fertility when your mucus is too thick. Well, it's one of those, and the reason it works is one of the reason these bronchial remedies work is because the tissue down there is mucous membrane tissue, just like the tissue in the nose, the tissue in the lungs, the tissue in the digestive tract. It's mucous membrane tissue. So if you look at tissue types, which is what I tend to do, what the remedy that works on mucous membrane tissue, regardless of where it's at, is going to be mucous membrane remedy first. Did I say that right? It's the same tissue. Okay? So it's an amazing how many remedies that you can cross-use, and don't think about this being only for the lungs or bronchi anymore. If it works on mucous membrane tissues, it's going to work in the gut, it's going to work in the reproductive tract. It's going to work in the gallbladder, it's going to work in the bladder, it's going to work in the lungs, it's going to work anywhere where there's mucous membrane tissue.
I used to abuse it for many, many, many years. And I was told, no, not Sudafed, ephedra.
Ephedra.
And I always told people it was because it would help me breathe better. But I used it just like speed.
Yeah, it would do that. But it's very